Okay. The first question is, what time period did you grow up in, and what was the lifestyle like?
Okay. I was born in the 1950s. When I was small, let's start at the age of 7, because that's the time you remember. I was in the South, in Kentucky. That's where I was born. Okay?
Okay.
And you knew that you were discriminated against because your parents taught you things to do and things to say. You were never to look at a white person in the face or in the eyes. You keep your eyes downcast, your hands clasped in front of you when they're talking to you, and you do what they say. Okay, so you knew in the South there was prejudice. You thought if you went up north that it would be different, but it wasn't. My first real experience as prejudice was when I was about 18 and I was in California, and I went to fill out an application, and a lady wrote something at the top of the form, and I didn't know what it meant. It was the initials CW. So I went home and asked my aunt, because she's been living in California for a long time, and she told me that it was a way for them to know that you were a colored woman. That's what it meant, CW. That was the first real experience of prejudice I experienced in the North. Anything else?
Yes. Next question. Was it difficult to live in a time of racism and slavery days?
Well, I wasn't in slavery days, but racism was very prevalent in the 50s, and yes, it was. Because blacks lived on one side of the town and whites on the other.
Would you say, Grandma, that it was like a natural segregation? That like...
Yeah, it was a natural segregation because blacks couldn't afford to live on the other side of town, and most of the houses and stuff on the side of town that we lived in weren't equipped with inside toilets and stuff unless you got a trailer. You rented a trailer, and there were a lot of trailers. And the roads weren't paved on our side of town. They were dirt roads or gravel roads.
And do you feel like, Grandma, if like, cause you had a professional career or whatever, and I want you to talk about how you ended up working with General Motors for as long as you did, but like, was there any sort of, like, if a black family could get out from that side of town, would they even want to?
Well, let me tell you something. This should cover a lot, okay?
Okay.
When I lived in Kentucky, you went to school in a one-room school on our side of town, okay?
Mm-hmm.
1st through 5th was in one room, and 6th through 12th was in another, all right?
Right.
And the one teacher that you had taught you everything, and there was only 2 teachers in the school. And we didn't have lunches or anything. We had to go home to eat. We didn't have a lunchroom. Okay, now, I didn't graduate from Perry A. Klein School in Pikeville, Kentucky, but my mother came and got me when I was 12, and we started school in Iowa. when I got to junior high, we had counselors that told us that we would either have a career as a mother and a housewife, or as maid.
Mhm.
That was our two choices. So our careers, we weren't told we could be anything other than that. That was real prejudice.
Right.
And that was in Iowa, so that's in the Midwest.
And that's where you went to high school.
Yes, that's where I went to high school. And I was told the same thing. I would either be working in somebody's household as a maid, taking care of somebody else's children, or I would be a wife and a mother. That's all that I could expect out of life.
Mm.
Okay.
And that's when I went to California. I had my son, and then I went to California. And that's where I experienced more prejudice than I have ever experienced in the South, because you knew your place and it wasn't considered as prejudice. You just knew.
Right.
Okay, so when you get up north, you encounter prejudice on a wide scale because they discriminate against you because of the color of your skin, not your schooling or the things that you know, because I tried to get a job everywhere. And they would always tell you, you don't have any experience. I couldn't even get a job at a fast food place until I knew someone that worked there and they got me in. So it was hard to get a job in California. It really was. Mm-hmm. In Kentucky, I could get a job cleaning somebody's house. In the Midwest, that's what I did. I cleaned people's houses for little or no money. All day, you would clean from the top of their house down to the bottom, and they might give you $10 or $15.
Mm.
It was kind of sad, Jordan.
Yeah, no, it sounds it. I just want to know where you, like how you got into General Motors. Like what job did you have before General Motors?
Why are you asking the questions and she's not?
I don't know. I just got interested all of a sudden, Graham. Like, I'm sorry.
That's okay. You're the teacher, honey.
Oh, she has some more questions. You don't mind.
Okay. This is how I got in General Motors, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I had gotten sick and moved back to Iowa. I recuperated there in Iowa. Then I made my plans and I came back to California. Okay, and I ran into some friends that I knew, and I told them I was looking for a job. And they told me that I should volunteer first. It could lead into a job in a permanent situation. So California has, I don't know how many different papers that you look in for jobs and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I got this little paper, and in one segment, they were all volunteers. So I found a job that says pre-screening for food stamps. And it says volunteer. So it wasn't far from my house. And I walked up there because I couldn't afford the bus yet. Anyway, I went in and I talked to the lady. And she said that I was the only applicant. And she says, since you're the only one that answered the ad, I'll take you. Now, what she was a black lady who was into helping people be pre-screened for food stamps. And she taught me how to do it, how to take their income and everything, and tell them if they're eligible. So I would sit out front and do some typing for her, I was a horrible typer, really bad. And I'd answer her phones, okay? And she would be gone all the time. And what she did, she's real smart. She graduated from Berkeley College. And she wrote a proposal and sent it into the government that she could do work and help people get food stamps. So I learned how to pre-screen people for food stamps, okay? And I would answer her phones. And when I'd answer her phones, people thought I was white. When they got into the office, they look at me and says, "You answered the phone?" I said, "Yeah." Says, "You don't talk like you're black." I said, "Well, what is a black person supposed to sound like?" And they look at me with, that blank expression on their face. Every black person that come in there that called thought I was white. See, that was another thing that was taught to us in Kentucky. My teacher, Miss Duncan, taught my mother, taught me, and she taught every kid in there how to speak proper English. You didn't have an accent. She wouldn't let you.
So it was like, and do you think she was like trying to give you like a tool, a resource, so that way, like?
Yes, because she was the first black teacher in that part of the country.
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah, I bet she was. Yeah.
Yeah, Walter May Duncan, her mother raised her, sent her to college. She cleaned folks' house. Anybody do anything to send her daughter to be a teacher, because at that time, that was the only thing open to her that she could possibly be if she wanted to have a profession.
Right. And it was considered one of the main professions for females, just in general.
Now look, she was born in the 20s. And in order for her to be a teacher, she had to go to one of the black schools. So that's what she went to.
Yeah, one of like the historically black colleges, right?
Right.
Well, Monty has some more questions for you now.
Okay.
How do you feel about the time now? Do you feel that racism is as bad as it was?
So like right now, Grandma, like how do you feel the society is right now?
It's still going on. Let me put it this way. And when I was born, it was still done real public, and people didn't care if they knew that they were racist. Now it is very well hidden until a person opens his mouth and says something, and you go, I know what you are.
Right. Or like where you find yourself in a place or like a show, or like there's been several times where I've been to like an outing and I've been the only black person there, and it's like I don't realize it until I'm in those situations that like people really do notice my color before they notice anything else about me.
Right. That happens a lot. Did I answer your question?
Yeah, that's all of them.
That's all the questions. Did you have any more, like, did anything come up where you want to ask anything else that you didn't have planned?
There's something else I, should tell y'all too.
Yeah.
Is in California, you can go to college for $2 and the cost of your books. Now, this was during the 60s and the 70s and part of the 80s.
So kind of during the civil rights movement?
all I do is pay $2 to register. And they'll give you all these forms to fill out so you can get a grant. No loan, just grants to pay for your books, and you can go to college. So I went to college in California for about 2.5 years for free, just $2 to register.
Right.
And I thought that was one of the best experiences I ever had, because I ran into all kinds of multicultural people. That's when I first met my first person from India and my first person from Africa. And the Africans are very prejudiced against the people they were. I don't know how they are today, but some of them were very prejudiced towards blacks in the United States because they thought we had it better until they started rioting. So it was interesting going to college in California because there were all kinds of people from all over the world going to college in California.
Right. In
I'm glad y'all called me now that you know a little bit more about my life.
Yeah. I always learn something new when I talk to you, Grandma.
Huh?
I said I always learn something new when I talk to you, even though obviously I've talked to you my whole life. I still learn something new every time.
Well, nowadays you don't have time to talk to me. You're so busy.
Yeah, but we make time. We get our outings in. We go to Del Taco.
Yeah, this coming birthday, I know you'll be doing something, so happy birthday.
Thank you.
Okay. Damn, Jordan, it just seems like yesterday you was a little girl talking about, I'm here, Grandma, I'm here, Grandma.
I know, right? It's crazy.
Yeah, okay. You're welcome, honey, anytime.
Thank you so much.
All right, Jordan. I'm going to go because I got these people coming out to the house.
All right, I'll talk to you later, Grandma. Have a good day.
Yeah, I love you.
Love you too. Bye.
Bye-bye.